Hey, Mike Pilcher coming to you, just hanging out on my back deck. Wanted to get another video out to you. You know, we talked about in the last video objections, how to handle objections. We was talking about the pyramid, and that's one of the biggest questions that's going to come up if you're out there talking to people. So here's another one. Another one is, and really it's probably one of the top ones that I got asked early on in my business, and don't ever get asked it anymore, but you know, occasionally somebody will, and I still don't go to what I actually make. And here's the question they're going to ask: how much are you making? Now, what I like to come back with, real quick, without hesitation, I like to just come right back to them and say, you know what, that's a good question, but let me ask you a question. Do you go to your job where you work, and do you go to your boss and ask them how much they make? And just let them sit there and think about it, because what it's going to do is it's going to start to make them feel real stupid. And we're not trying to get into arguments. We're not trying to make people feel stupid, but it's a good way to really put off the question. And when you're first getting started, you know, you're not making money, so you don't want to get into this whole money-making question. But ask them that question right there, and they're probably going to say no. And you're going to say, that's what I thought. And then look right back at them and say, you know what, here's the real question. How much do you want to make? That's the whole question here. How much do you really want to make? It's not about me, it's about you. How much do you want to make? And just sit there and let them answer it. And then just start kind of asking them questions along, you know, how much they want to make. What's their goal? Start getting into, you know, what's your goal here? What are you really wanting to do? What's your why? Why are you wanting to build a business? Are you wanting the freedom, you know, the time, the freedom, the extra money, of course? Are you wanting to be your own boss? You know, start asking questions and start getting them thinking, and gets them off that silly thought process that they're programmed with. Just like all of us have been programmed from school. You know, we've always taught, you know, go get your education, go to school, you know, keep your nose clean. Nobody really knows what the nose clean thing means, but you know, get good grades, study hard, keep your nose clean, and go out and things are going to get great. You'll get a good job, things are going to be great. Well, it don't work out like that anymore. So when people sit down with you, they don't know what to say. So the first thing they want to do is start coming up with all this silly nonsense. So that's just a way to handle that question. And here's something else. If they don't want to stop and they just keep on coming back to it, look at them right in the eye. That's a huge tip. Look at them right in the eye. Don't stare off to one side or the other. Look at them right in the eye and say, you know what? You know, you seem to really be hung up on that. Let me explain something to you real quick. Obviously, you don't understand the business. You know, you've probably never built a business in your whole life. You've always been an employee, worked for somebody else. But let me educate you a little bit here in business. You know, not that I'm trying to hide anything, but I don't talk about how much I make with anybody except my business coach, my mentor. That's the only person I talk to about how much I make. Now, it was a good question, but just so you know, I don't talk about that with anybody else. And I don't think you go to your boss and ask that question. Okay? So that's just another way to handle that objection there, because it's going to come up. Now, as you're watching this video, you're on my blog, so go ahead and take a look on my blog. And as you go down through the post, you're going to see the post handling objections. Now, in that post, you're going to find a picture. What I'd like to do is have you take that picture, print it off, keep it for reference. Maybe download it to your computer, and you can do that just by right-click on the picture and click on Save Image, and it'll save it right to your favorite spot in your pictures, wherever you want to save it. Then you can always go back to it and use it for later. But here's why. Because people, when they ask that whole pyramid thing, you know, that picture lays out exactly how an organized business is going to look. Anything that's organized looks the shape of a pyramid. So when people get hung up and ask you that question there, like we talked about in the last video, you can use that and you can say, hey, you know what, that's a good question, but I got something I want to show you real quick that I bet you didn't know. And I'll bet the reason you're asking that question because you're frustrated and mad because you're hung up in one right now and you don't even know it. You're hung up in a pyramid right now and you don't even realize it. And then give them that picture and let them see it, because it lays out, you know, CEO at the top, so on, clear down to them. So just another huge tip for you. It's been a huge, huge help for me in building my business. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. We'll talk about some more objections. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.